Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. We try to bring you all the latest tips, tricks, news and information to keep all Guardians informed and up to date. So, let's not beat around the bush. Let's get on with the show.
Whoa.
What's up, Craig? There we go.
What up?
I found the right button. We're just going to curse every third word. He's going to have to bleep out. This is going to be totally unusable. It's going to be amazing.
Yep. All right, so check this out. This is kind of like a rough estimate. Ignore the shelves on the side, like the black shelves on the side. Just look at the top and bottom. That's kind of what I got going on right now.
Nice. Welcome back to Cabinetry with Peroty and Respawn, where we're going to talk cabinets all week, every week. This week, we're talking about
You're not actually going to
absolutely. Absolutely. This week, we're going to talk about Respawn's TV setup and why he's made poor life choices, and his house has no studs in the wall. No studs in the house either. There's no studs anywhere to be found in Respawn's life. It's very sad. His wife's a very sad woman. That's why Luna has to howl.
Wait, what? Damn it. I get that now. You better stop. Summon a biscuit. All right, go ahead, go. Do you think?
Oh, God. I don't even know where to start these days.
It's usually the best place to start.
Absolutely. We're going to start at the end and work our way backwards.
Right.
So, since Respawn and I are here this week, we seem to have lost our Brit. Maybe he's Brexited. Maybe he's been voted off the island. It's really hard to say. We've got Respawn and Peroty hanging out, talking about cabinetry, talking about going to IKEA. So I guess we might as well talk about some Destiny. If the Brit joins us, then you'll hear his suave voice of knowledge and his 15 pages of show notes.
Right?
You're stuck with the Americans. It's an American-only show. It's gone totally off the rails immediately. It's like when Dad's away, the kids are like, all right, we got this. This is going to be amazing.
Do we, though? Do we actually have this? I'm thinking we don't.
We've got something. I don't know what it'll be. This will be the show that either makes or breaks the podcast. This will either be the last one we ever do, or this will be twice as downloaded as everything we've ever done. It's hard to say which yet.
Right? You know what we should really do to mess him up? Okay, so we should skip the update entirely, right? Make him come back, edit it, realize that we've skipped the update.
Update 2.5.1.1. It's in there. It changed a bunch of Clan XP. Moving on.
Right, exactly. Okay, what do we got going on? Sandbox, Outback Perfected can no longer generate nanites when shooting immune targets. Oh man, that sucks because we were pre-firing the hand in the new raid.
Yeah. I saw that change, and I'm going, clearly this is meant to screw somebody up.
Oh yeah, it's for the raid because like when he raises his hand, people are pre-firing it to get the nanites, and as soon as
as
soon
as it's available for damage. Yeah. Well, again, I mean, they saw everybody using Outbreak the moment that raid dropped. It's like, okay, they're going to do something. If this is, at least this is a tiny baby nerf, so at least it's not terrible, but.
Yeah, you say that until you do the raid, then you realize how hard that actually hits you. Anyway, you've
seen us try to do the raid. You saw how that went.
Oh my God, we
attempted to do a Frozen Clan Scourge of the Past. We had the second phase boss checkpoint, and our three show hosts and our three other raid members, one of which had no mic. And I
tell you what, look, check this out.
Really well. Let me tell you.
For the next 2 weeks, if you listen to this podcast within the next 2 weeks, go to twitch.tv/no one respawns in real life, spell it all out, and you'll actually see this attempt. Instead of us explaining it all to you, just
if you want to see how it takes 6 people 3-ish hours not to successfully complete a boss phase.
6 people. It was
half,
inherently one person messing it up, inherently, for the most part. And not 100%, but like 95%. It was one person that kept messing it up. But whatever. So, also fixed an issue where the Strum's Accomplice perk would not reload sidearms other than Drang or Drang Baroque. Fixed an issue where Strum's...
Okay, he can't read.
Fixed an issue where
you don't know how letters work.
Sturm Accomplice perk would play excessive reload audio on kill when paired with Drang or Drang Baroque. Fixed an issue where Season 5 Vanguard Pulse Rifle Nightshade wasn't available after Season 5. Fixed an issue where 21% Delirium was gaining stacks of killing tally from shooting persistent destroyable objects. Man, I wish I'd have known that.
What is a
Crucible.
persistent destroyable object?
Like crystals, I guess, maybe.
Hang on a minute. What have I missed?
We're looking at Respawn's furniture choices before you showed up. It was IKEA talk, and now it's Destiny talk.
Yep, something like that. Okay, so Crucible fixed an issue where players could reach an advantageous out-of-bounds spot during Crucible matches on Emperor's Respite map.
The non-advantageous out-of-bounds spots are still available, though.
Right. Everybody's got access to those.
Right.
Fixed an issue preventing players from activating the Witch's Vessel objects in Crown of Sorrow encounters. So, for those of you that don't know, right, when you were trying to get a flawless run on the Crown of Sorrow encounter, that Witch's Vessel, you couldn't destroy it unless your team wiped. Therefore, preventing you from getting a flawless run. Oh, you want to do a flawless? No. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Menage. How do you say that?
Merengue.
Merengue.
I can't not say it other than menagerie.
It's merengue.
I can't.
We're going to have to pull one or several out for this chalice nerf, though, aren't we?
I suppose, yeah. Players will no longer be able to use their chalice to gain multiple rewards with the same menagerie run. In the gauntlet encounter of the menagerie, only living players will be given credit for completing a lap.
More grenades.
I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Instead of in the grenades over the finish line.
Yeah, you should take your grenade launcher and shoot those over the finish line. Each of those counted as a guardian.
Right, I got you.
The jumping back through the hoop on the final hoop does stop the counter still, so you can still do that part of the cheese.
Jeez. Also, I'm realizing now, Peroty, whenever he joined in, we should have just pretended like we couldn't hear him. I'm realizing we should have just done that, just for giggles. You know, he's all like, "What's going on? Why do you guys keep going? What? Can you hear me? Hello?" And just continue on like nothing was happening. That would have been
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Very funny. I think
it's just been you and me.
Right. Fixed an issue where Werner's weekly bounties no longer gave powerful rewards. Fixed an issue where rune bonus 2 for the chalice was not always refunding a rune. I thought it was a chance. Didn't we have this discussion? We had this discussion, right? I thought it was like a chance of refunding a rune, not a guarantee.
Well, it should have been
no, it's a chance at getting a second weapon, but the rune is guaranteed.
Okay, gotcha. Fixed an issue causing the chests on the barge to reset on Sunday. Okay, now we're into Eververse. Fixed an issue causing seasonal Eververse armor to drop from Eververse bundles with random perks. Wasn't that fixed like a month ago?
Well, now
quote,
they
unquote.
Fixed it again.
Right.
All fixed
Players
from all the Eververse things.
Players who currently have randomly rolled Eververse armor will retain the perks that are on them. Thank you, ? Players affected by the Jubilant Bright Engram issue during the Revelry event can now pick up bundles containing any missing Jubilant Eververse armor pieces from the seasonal store tab. Great. Now the things you should have already had, now you get to go back and pay for. Woo! Okay.
You can pick them up until they become ornaments, and then you won't need them anymore.
We'll see. Progress towards the platform's spawned objective of the Truth Quest will no longer be reset on a Fireteam wipe. Didn't know that was a thing because we're too good. Vex oracles for the Mercury Public event will now detonate appropriately when destroyed. Eater of Worlds crystals guarding Argos have returned to their normal, larger size. Fixed an issue where some players could infinitely reset their infamy rank. Wow, I wish I'd have known that. Players who are idle in too many Gambit matches will once again receive matchmaking suspensions. I do like that because that's actually been happening to me quite a bit lately in Gambit. But
yeah, there've been a lot of AFK. On the one about the infamy rank, that was like the guy who hit 750 light on day one because he was at the point where he could reset his Gambit.
That can't
infamy.
Be that same thing though.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing that's what it was. It's if he was like at the end of the point where he reset his infamy, and instead of it being wiped out with the season change, he could just similar to the infinitely dropping pinnacle weapons last season. He could just reset it, and get powerful gear every single time. Infinitely.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, guessing it's that glitch. Maybe there's another one. Don't know. Go check out Cheese's Forever chat.
Whatever. It's gone now. Whatever it was, it's gone now.
Right.
Quote unquote gone. Fixed an issue where fixed an issue where /join and /invite commands were not always working on PC. fixed an issue preventing the Drifter/Vanguard allegiance quest from progressing. I could have sworn that was already fixed.
Which who
Meets
cares,
back on
'cause
the
you're
menu,
not getting anything
Guardians.
from it.
That's all that says.
Yeah, but it's part of that quest, that the allegiance, isn't it? The meat that you get from Spider, the jerky.
Yeah, but there was no detail to
Yes,
that.
I like it.
Until you put that little tidbit in there, I wouldn't have known that.
Well, that's
Meat's
why I
back
put
on
it
the
in
menu.
there. That's why I'm here, to help.
Meat's always back on
I'm
the menu.
here to facilitate your
Fixed an issue
incoherent
where
speaking.
waypoints persisted on
You have
Ikora
no
and
idea.
Drifter after completing the Allegiance quest. I was a victim of that.
And and Shax will stop asking you to show your love to him, even though we're well past February. We fixed that 4 times too.
No, I don't want him to fix that. I like that. Did they fix that? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fixed a while back.
Ah.
Because I think it was Pan or Blue Screen or somebody still had it. He's like, why does Shaq still want me to do things I can't do in game anymore? I'm like, because clearly it's unrequited love. You didn't throw enough grenades and you made him very sad.
I finally heard that for the first time the other day in Crucible. Finally.
Good job. You were finally throwing enough grenades.
No, it was not enough grenades. He goes, there's so many grenades, or whatever that whole thing. He goes, why aren't you throwing grenades now? And just that whole speech. That was the first time I heard it. I hadn't heard that until, the other day. And I keep saying the same thing over and over. Anyway, moving on. This week at Bungie, somebody else.
Callus pays tribute. You've sought the truth and found it. You've lit the path through the darkness with Lumina. Now Callus is mixing things up just a little bit. In case you've been out of the loop, an Imperial invitation is waiting for you in the robotic hands of Warner 99 on Nessus. Guardians have been earning menagerie loot since the beginning of the season. Now we're entering a time of celebration. Moments of triumph in the Tribute Hall have become available last Tuesday, each of which commemorates your accomplishments as a Guardian. So the Tribute Hall, if you haven't been playing the game, it's out there. It's right next to the menagerie on Nessus. It's a little icon next to it. You need to fly in there, check out your tributes. However, you first need to visit the treasure chests on the pleasure barge and open the chest next to our friend Werner in order to get access to the tribute hall. Now, the tribute hall comes with a small price to pay. Callus couldn't make things easy for you, now could he? As you enter the tribute hall...
Wait, one second. I gotta say this before you get too far.
Representing your history with Destiny 2.
No, hold on. Before you get too far. All right, everybody, yes, this is a thing that you can do. But before you actually turn in a tribute, we're going to link...
Jeez alert.
Right, before you start jumping ahead, there's a bit just below that you can you can read that if you want to tell people. Stop jumping ahead.
What do you mean? Where?
Have you read the notes?
I'm looking at the notes. I don't see what you're talking about.
Right, scroll
Bugs
down.
in the system.
I'm scrolled like 2 or 3 pages. What am I looking for? Tips and tricks?
Tips and tricks, tribute hall guide, well, sort of.
Yeah, but while we're talking about this, I want them to know about it because I don't want whoever's listening just to accidentally, go in there and start doing what he's talking about. And then at the end,
which we can tell them about once we tell them what to do, and then we tell them how to do it better. And then we tell them that we told them. It's like advertising.
There is a better part in our tips and tricks section. There you go. I'll just cut that bit in.
Fine, whatever. I wanted them to know about it before he got too far. But you do it your damn way. Fine.
Each trophy requires a sign of your devotion, ranging from an offering of planetary materials to glimmer. Callus offers you 4 bounties a day, and each bounty you complete earns you a discount of 1% on the materials you need to pay. So I think it's something along the lines of like 80% discount you can get for doing, again, each of those things. And they've all been like, go get 40 kills in Gambit without dying. Go get, kill 40 things in a strike without dying. Like, they haven't been too terribly difficult to complete. And they've been fairly consistent, at least so far, with what they've been. Or you can cheese this entire thing, which we'll get into in a minute. But it's only if you haven't started your quest. So if you started your quest, and again, the whole point of doing this is to get the Bad Juju. As we've teased and talked about, and it's been data mined for 1,000 years now, it feels like the Bad Juju is back in the game. A couple of our clan members have it. A couple of them, I think, either just paid all of the materials in the entire world to get it, or did the cheese because they are catching up with the game going, I could not do all this work and just get this easily. Yeah, let's do that instead.
Yeah.
So the Bad Juju is back. It has pretty ornaments. You can run around and shoot people with it, which I don't think any of us have yet because all of us started our quests before the cheese came out.
I do. I got mine.
That's right. Yeah, you have it. So how is it? How is the Bad Juju playing?
It's actually, I think it's probably better than what it was in D1. It feels like it. right? Because, in D1, you had the baseline string of curses or whatever it was called in D1. But now, because it can stack, you get bigger chunks of your super back, instead of just, in D1, it was still a decent chunk, but now you can get like massive, massive chunks. And now apparently, just people out there are going to correct me. I know they will, but I didn't remember in D1, the string of curses giving you extra damage. But assuming that it didn't, now in D2, string of curses not only gives you extra super back, but it also gives you extra damage, kind of like Rampage or Swashbuckler, which I think is really good. But yeah, it's awesome, man. Like somebody said this, right? So I'm taking credit for what somebody else told me because I don't remember who told me, right? So I'm just putting that disclaimer out there. But somebody was saying the Bad Juju coming into the game offsets all the severe nerfs that they put on all of the armor pieces. Remember how the hunter got hit hardest, and then the warlock, and then titan, you couldn't get your super back on your own as efficiently as you could have before. Well, now I'm getting my super back not quite as fast as pre-nerf exotic armor pieces, but it is still it's comfortably quick, and especially when you start playing on the warlock middle tree arc and you have the Bad Juju, you're talking 30-second supers, maybe 60 seconds in Gambit. It's really bonkers. It's very, very bonkers. So, in other words, I have it. I think it's great. I think everybody should run out there and get it. Go, run, fast, super stuff. Yeah. Okay.
And if you have been taking some time away from the game, we'll let our good friend Night Demon tell you exactly how you can cheese this Bad Juju instead of paying all of your planetary materials and visiting Spider and getting his discount card because you're such a good customer of his.
I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll continue with the show, and I will put a timestamp in the show notes for anybody that wants to skip to the section where we get to tips and tricks and how to cheese the Bad Juju and everything else, all the good cheeses.
So Night Demon does not love you. He is taking the cheese away from the people.
Exactly. Yeah.
You brought you the cheese. A lot of people last week.
I'm giving people the option. I'm giving people the option to just sit and listen to all the cheese bits and just bypass everything else that we're just about to go over.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. No,
you're not.
He's lazy.
I'm very good with putting my timestamps in there.
You have Brexited the conversation, and you've given people no cheese after giving them all the cheese last week. Now we have no cheese.
No, there is cheese.
So was it a cheese surplus?
There are guides.
You have all the cheese
from like an hour ago. Cheese. Words of cheesiness.
And this is where we lose all the people, and they skip ahead to whatever this quote-unquote timestamp is to listen to the cheese and completely skip the rest of the podcast.
No, they like listening to you, Respawn.
Yeah, okay.
By yourself, people like listening to you.
I've been told by myself.
The cheese will get you to the exotic emote that comes from placing 50 tributes. It unlocks the exotic quest for the Bad Juju exotic pulse rifle and the catalyst.
Over the top of us. You are, aren't you?
We have a guide from Reddit posted.
I am going to edit this out. All of this. You wait until we get there, young man. Don't laugh.
Who's funny?
He will turn the ship around right now.
I think it's very funny.
I think
you should keep doing it.
Stick to the plan.
The plan was to pretend that you weren't here, which we've already failed at.
Yes, I guess that. Reading as I joined.
I've got
no introduction for you guys because you guys are just going to carry on doing whatever you want to do.
We already had the intro.
But who did the intro? Let me guess who did the intro. You did the intro, didn't you?
No, Pan did, actually.
That's what I meant.
Oh. Well, you said there's two people here, and I was the last one talking. You got to be more specific.
Respawn.
You refused to do one when you were asked a couple of weeks ago.
I refused to do the one that was praising you as our Lord and Savior. No way in hell am I going to do that.
Well, now you've said it, that's edited in at the beginning of the podcast. I've got you now on record. That's it. Every week.
It absolutely warms my heart that you just called me Pan because we are not the same people, but we are losing.
I am.
We are losing the battle that we are not the same people. From putting rally barricades up at the same time to popping our supers at the same time to putting raid flags down in the exact same moment the other day.
Yeah.
Pan and I are not the same people, not the same person.
You're just pretending you are.
19 minutes Houndish, Pan and I are the same person. That's just how life is. Those are the facts
Not
of life.
Houndish.
There's
I
no
sound
way around
completely
it.
different from Houndish.
You say that, but
Please.
if you actually weren't Houndish, then Houndish would be listening to this, and Houndish himself would come here to correct it.
One of these days,
I haven't heard him
one
here.
of these days,
I haven't heard
he will come on the
Houndish.
podcast, and we'll both talk at the same time. Even
Yeah,
though you
no-
probably still won't be convinced that I'm not Houndish.
No, because
We know
obviously
you're
you
not
can
Houndish,
record yourself
it's
talking and
way
then
too
just hit
much
the play
fun.
button. Yeah,
but I
obviously.
couldn't answer a question, and we both answer the same question at the same
Yes,
time.
you can. Listen, let me tell you how you do it. You record yourself before the show, answering the question that you're going to ask yourself during the show.
No,
And then
you
you just-
ask the question. That's what I'm saying. If you ask a question, we both can't answer at the same time, can we?
Yeah, but see, that's where the power of editing comes in. While we're going to sit here and berate you for not being able to answer it at the same time, you're going to go back, edit yourselves answering at the same time, and just cut off the whole part of us berating you for not being able to answer at the same time. Booyah!
Right.
Welcome back.
Can we get on with
to
the
Idea Chat.
podcast with bugs in the system?
We covered the known issues.
No, you
the,
didn't.
We did.
We actually legitimately did the 2.5.1.1 updates.
Mm-hmm. We're on.
Yeah, but these are
bugs in the
extra
system
issues.
now.
These
Right.
are extra issues.
Right. We
We've
haven't
done
done the
those.
bugs in the system.
Yeah, we're on
And
bugs
then
in
you've
the
confused the people because if Respawn's doing the known issues, he doesn't get the music.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's the
that's
raid.
not my fault.
Not the raid.
Oh.
The rant
It
is
is
when
your
you give me
fault.
my own music.
Oh.
Am I- Is
No.
the known issues my rant for this week? I don't understand what's happening.
No.
Nobody understands what's happening. We
Parody
are
does the known
completely off the
issues and
rails.
bugs and things, and I always give him the cool music.
Dad didn't show up. The
Ah.
kids were playing around with Craig. It's all downhill from here.
I
We
see.
found a man.
Well,
it
you could
was-
always go back and edit it
he
me
had
out
candy.
and just have
It's-
him
it's
do
good
it.
time.
Obviously,
No, because he won't do it now. And we've gone past that point. So
What do you mean
if
he
Parody
won't do
does
it?
this
He's right
bit,
here. Fine.
I can play the music
You're
on
not my real
this bit,
dad.
and he
yeah, you can't tell him what he is and is not going to do. You know what, Parody? Just for that, go back and reread them.
No,
Yes.
please stop. You two have had too much daylight. This is what I'm putting it down to. You've had too much time. Next time, I'm just going to say, right, we're recording early in the morning or late at night. That is it. You two have had too much oxygen.
That's what I was trying to say for this week. We could do earlier, late, and you were like, "How's 5 p.m.?" And we're like, "Amazing!" Right,
Yeah.
right in the thick of all the artwork we've been doing out in the sweltering heat.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
We just got to
Jeez.
come back inside in the heat. Now this room is still hot. There's no air conditioning running to it.
For
But at
real.
least it's out of the beating sun, so I'm great now. I've got a nice
But you know,
tall
the
drink
best thing
here,
about doing yard work
not in the sun.
is in the yard you get to find bugs. And speaking of bugs, we now have bugs in the system. Take it away, Parody.
We do have bugs in the system. All the bugs from my yard have actually made their way into my luggage as I take it to the Dreaming City. So don't bring your bugs to the Dreaming City. It makes Petra very upset. And the player support team, they get called from Petra. The player support team. Words are hard.
What are you even doing, man?
I didn't.
That is the audio version of a freaking
He's gonna
aneurysm right
take
there,
some more
ladies and
alcohol.
gentlemen.
This is the audio version of when your computer hits that blue screen. That's basically what's happened there.
Oh, God.
I've got to shut
Have you-
down. I've got to
Have you
clear the
tried
local
turning yourself
cache.
off and on again?
I tried that. It has not worked yet. I do it every
I see.
night, and it never seems to quite function like I
I see.
should.
You know what works for me a lot of the time? Whenever I start going on tangents, my wife wollybops me on the base of my neck, and she calls that the reset button because it
I
does.
like it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now
I don't
we
know if
know.
you've ever been, right at the base of the skull, at the top of the neck, if somebody just kind of slaps you right there, you see stars for like a split second, man. It definitely resets you.
Yeah, we unfortunately haven't had that happen. And when we want you to
Not so
reset, we
much.
just fade you out with music. Simple.
Exactly.
Ah.
So the player
Okay.
support team has been navigating the waters. What waters I don't know because there's no waters there. Of the help forums, gathering information on what players are seeing in the wild since the Destiny 2 update 2.5.1.1, or as we call it, Blind Well. What Blind Well? The Blind Well went away. So as of the update on July 11th that they did the background maintenance for, that kicked us all to orbit for a second, the Blind Well has now been fixed. So if you went to the Blind Well and you realized you couldn't put anything into it, the charges of light said, no, I'm sorry, your card's been declined, your account's empty. The Blind Well is now fixed. It's not your imagination, because we tried to go day one to run some Blind Well, and it's like, no, the Blind Well's broken. Can't be done. Can't do that. So there have been a couple other known issues since the update came out. On the PC side, if you're using a Ryzen 3000 CPU, they're investigating player reports directly with AMD, where players describe being unable to launch D2 with the Ryzen 3000 series CPUs on PC. And I do think I saw a tweet that I forgot to grab. I think they may have a firmware patch coming for that. So I'm sure the folks affected by that may be more aware, but I think they've resolved that. Countdown and survival in Crucible. When you're playing competitive, they're investigating an issue where players cannot be revived upon death in Countdown and Crucible survival matches after the update. So competitive is now really competitive with permadeath.
Yup, it's really survival now.
You're real dead. So be very careful when you go in. There's no more coming back to life. The Conflux Lost Sector Imperials were investigating an issue where players slot a rune before the required quest step in the introductory and Imperial Summons quest is blocking them from completing the rest of the quest.
What?
Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't
That's
put things in the
crazy.
chalice until it's ready for you. The chalice will tell you when it's ready for you. The Drink Deep Triumph. We're investigating an issue where this triumph doesn't unlock for all players who claim the Masterwork slot in the Chalice of Opulence. For other known issues, check out the Destiny 2 Season of Opulence issues thread. We'll put a link in the show notes. And for all the other issues kicking around out there, the D2 known issue support article is also available. We'll link that as well, because there's a bunch of issues. So if you are running into something in the game going, why is this not working for me? Go check that out. Also, Peroty known issue for the week. When you're running to get your Boon of Opulence after talking to the, going and raising Callus' skirt to the Tribute Hall, make sure you have a slot available in your inventory. Because if you have no inventory space available, your Boon of Opulence will go to the Postmaster, and you will spend 15 minutes in the Tribute Hall with two of your friends going, I don't know why I can't progress this quest. I don't understand why the door isn't opening for me.
Let's just say there was a lot of blame going around in that room.
There was a lot of blame. Some hateful words were said. Night Demon was yelling at me that I was doing everything wrong.
No, I wasn't.
Which apparently was accurate, because it sounds like it was your fault.
It was his fault.
It absolutely was my fault. I'm not saying it wasn't my fault.
I was asking questions of him, and he was getting really angry.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
in a calm way of angry.
There's a Peroty known issue of you're going to need to have some inventory space, because otherwise it goes to your inventory, and it sits in the Postmaster as an unknown thing that you can't pull through into the apps. You have to actually go visit the tower to get your Boon of Opulence to start your quest steps.
So there's a thing I have to ask.
Sadly, I didn't know at the time.
You just said, correct me if I'm wrong, that he was getting angry, but a calm kind of angry. Yes. I do not know what this is or how to achieve this.
Have you ever been on the phone with a customer support person and you can tell they want to rip your throat out and jump to the phone at you, but they're doing it in a really calm, like homicidal kind of way?
No, they usually just hang up on me.
They're just waiting to blow up at you, but they aren't quite there yet. It's sort of that.
It was the point where he thought that the quest was kind of bugged out and he wouldn't have progressed any further. And
right.
He really didn't know what to say. It was, is it because I'm with you two, or is this something I've done?
Yeah, like I'm literally here.
I don't know who to blame, but I want to blame someone.
Right, someone is wrong. It turns out I'm the one to blame. I'm sitting here with Pan and Night Demon, and they're both like, "Yeah, I put the thing in, and I got the thing back from him, and the door opens, and I have none of that. I have done the thing. I did it. I turned in the bounty. I got the Boon of Opulence in theory, only I didn't actually have it because it's in the Postmaster. So." I mean, honestly, as we've learned, if there's a way to screw up a quest, I will find the way to screw up that quest. We remember me,
duly noted,
Havoc to destroy the knights in the last word quest.
Where you punch them out of the way.
Yeah, like I said, if there's a way to screw something up, I will find the way. I'm that guy where they're like, okay, we've quality tested every part of this. There's no way. Oh, God, it's this guy. Oh, no, they've brought him again. If there's a way to screw something up, I will find a new and exciting way to screw it up. We've proven this time and time again. So just throwing out there for any other people who are stupid like me, make sure you've got some inventory space. It's important. Oh, and now we have additional information and news. Shall I read these two, or would someone else like to read the additional stuff from Cosmo and Lars?
I'm just going to finish off This Week at Bungie. This week, we'd like to clear up a recent miscommunication regarding the Bungie Foundation's iPad for Kids fundraising donation reward. In an in-game message, we incorrectly stated that players who donated $50 or more would receive the Sign of Our City emblem. The actual emblem for participating in the fundraiser is the System of Peace. To correct this issue, any player who donates qualifies for this emblem will receive both emblems after July 14th. And I saw a lot of people tweeting about this, saying that they were quite upset because they'd done something
Because
to
now
get
they
the.
get two for the price of one. They're upset.
No, there was I think the sign of our city emblem was quite rare, and now they're giving it out to other people.
Oh.
So shall I do additional information and news then? Is that what you're
shall.
saying?
If you'd like to, or I can read it. I don't care. It's up to you.
Well, what do you want to do? Make it go slower or faster?
Let's make it go faster. Let's put this up to 11, boys and girls. British Dad's here. I've got the keys to the car. We're going for a ride. Cosmo has passed along feedback on buffing scout rifles to the dev team, because scout rifles need your love because they are crap. The team is also investigating an issue where D2 is not working on the new Ryzen 3000 processors, which again, think they fixed, but check it out. They'll let the team know that the exotic hand cannon fatigue is a thing within the community. Thank you. Who else wants another exotic hand cannon? Yeah, no one. That's no one who wants it.
I think everyone will be happy once the Hawkmoon comes back, and then they'll go, no, that's it. We don't want any more.
Yeah, and we're out. Now, Cosmo believes...
I mean, the Hawkmoon would be nice, but even then, I'm still not on board with having another exotic cannon. Yes, we just got an exotic pulse rifle, but hand cannons are by far dominating all the quote-unquote new exotics that we've been getting, or the returning exotics, right? It's like, what, 70% hand cannons? Come on, guys.
Just let me dual wield the hand cannons and we'll be fine. I got two hands. I got two hand cannons. What's the problem here? Cosmo believes they have figured out a cause for the weapon and player models going randomly invisible to Crucible matches and are working on a fix. That's good. In regards to a mission like Bad Juju, they try to create a different challenge and mood with some activities regarding rewarding teamwork, while others test your grit even when no one is backing you up. Crucible spawn error rates in competitive are being investigated. Free rewards glitch in the tribute hall is being investigated. He's let the team know that the Sparrow horns are something the community would like to see brought back to D2 at some point in the future. No, you shouldn't bring back the Sparrow horns. For those who weren't around in D1 for Sparrow Racing League, you could have a horn on your Sparrow, and you could press it incessantly. This is not a thing the community wants back. Trust me, we don't want it back. Except for maybe
I
SRL.
wouldn't mind.
If Respawn wants it, that's all the more reason we shouldn't bring it back. How much more reason do you need?
That was pretty fun, man. Can you imagine? Like, okay, so right now you got people that just kind of run you over when you're AFK or you're not moving. Instead of running you over, just the most irritating meat, or even some of them were like little jingles too, wasn't it? Like Christmas jingles and this and that and the other.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah, well, some of them wasn't just a horn. They had some fun ones.
Yeah, so
but, yeah, I don't think this is something we need. And also, feedback that players want to see more interaction with civilians, such as escort missions, have been passed along. Nobody wants an escort mission. I never want to escort anybody.
No, I agree. No escort missions.
If I can put the civilian in a Titan bubble and escort them that way, I'm good. But I don't want to escort people around. They can get to where they're going or not. That's on them. And on the menagerie chest, post-patch feedback, also known as, with this last patch, with the last reset on July 9th, you can now only loot the chest one time per menagerie clear, as opposed to 3 or 4 or 6 or 17.
Boo.
It says, we've gotten a lot of feedback about the menagerie chest bug being fixed. I've seen a lot of suggestions on reaching a middle ground that still allows multiple rewards per run. Let me know your thoughts and I'll pass them along to the dev team. And I know we talked last week about, I think, Datto or Bife or some other folks saying, maybe there could be a tier for how quickly you completed it, or, some things you could do to say, if you're more successful with the menagerie, you get more rewards out of it. If you just barely eke through it with your team of 5 other people, you get 1 reward. So at least they're looking into that. Lars has an update saying there's no plan around updating the mountaintop quest, for instance, lowering the amount of double kills required. We will talk to people about it. And DMG says the Wolfpack DMG says the Wolfpack fix is planned for next update. They don't have an exact date yet, but they'll let us know when we expect to see it. And give Dylan feedback about it in the Destiny forums. Dylan is DMG, DMG is Dylan, and we've got a link for that there. The Wolfpack fix is about the Lord of Wolves. And now we've got some reasons why some of the triumphs and pursuits have percentages. A bit of reasoning to this madness. And they say, when we do exact numbers, there's extra work if we have to update them. Let's say you have to get 300 grenade kills and we lower it to 100. Every localized version of Destiny 2 has to test and verify to make sure that change works. Sure, changing a 3 to the 1 doesn't seem hard, but when you're doing dialogue for the entire game, typos can slip through and lead to confusion. With percentages, the change can be made on the back end, communicated through a TWAB, a tweet, or other ways, and there's no risk that the game text could have a minor bug introduced requiring a future hotfix to address. So basically, it's less work to say, here's percentages, and then they can update those percentages versus giving you the exact numbers. We put the exact numbers in as often as we can, but sometimes we opt for percentages to give room for updates if needed without having to test in every single language, which makes a lot of sense. They don't want to be spending extra work on, fixing typos or bugs in numbers of things instead of giving us new content. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, we have tips, tricks, and guides. So that thing that we couldn't tell you about earlier that was edited out, that you'll never know was edited out. And this
No,
is
it's
all
not
gonna
edited
be
out.
edited
It's
out?
all in. It's all in.
Oh, well then, dear people, I'm very sorry for you, but we finally got to that moment. Now,
It's
should
now
I
going to be time stamped. This is the timestamp moment that everyone's waiting for.
Since we've come to the moment you've all been waiting for, past the IKEA chat, past the sniffling, past the bitching and arguing and moaning, past the waiting, we're still going to make you wait longer because we're going to ramble on for 15 more minutes before we get there.
Right.
So if you've yet to start your tribute haul, if you haven't done any tribute, if you haven't lifted Callus's skirt, if you haven't looked what's underneath, if you haven't used a nice cleaning salve on your hands before doing so, we have a great cheese for you. This cheese will get you the exotic emote that comes with placing 50 tributes and unlocks the exotic quest for the Bad Juju, exotic pulse rifle, and the catalyst for the Bad Juju. So let's just take a moment and think about all the work that went into making this quest and all that you're not going to be able to enjoy. Very similar to the named boss at the end of the strike that gets stomped on by a cabal. They gave that man a name. They created him as a Vex boss just to get stomped on. We're now going to stomp on all of that work by giving you
boss.
the good cheese. We have a guide by Reddit. We have a guide on Reddit posted by The Bunge. Not The Bungie, but The Bunge, where they have detailed a step-by-step guide on what you need to do. You're going to need to have at least 2 characters. They have to be over 300 light level to enter the tribute hall. This was confirmed to work as of Friday the 12th, so that's the day before we're recording this. And thanks to Pony from the clan who took the time to check this out, and he was able to get through this.
Yeah, he was very unwilling to check this out. Like, Pony, can you do this? And he was like, yeah, of course.
By thank you for checking this out, we mean Night Demon made him do it and wouldn't let him rest until he got through it all.
No.
He
He said, could you help me do this? And I went, oh, have you not done it? There's a really good cheese for that. And he went, okay, I'll do that. That was it.
Amazing. Exactly.
Right.
So we've got video guide from the Bunge. We've got a Cheese Forever video because of course we do. We wouldn't be on.
No, we've got the Reddit post from the Bunge and a Cheese Forever guide.
What British Dad said.
Yeah.
Are we going to tell them what it is? Because I don't see
I'm
what
waiting.
it is. It's not here.
You wanted us to go step by step. You wanted to read it out for people.
I was going to. I assume that was what was in this 9 pages of notes.
Yeah, isn't that what you normally do?
We're now going to make people go watch a video?
No. There's a Reddit post if they wanted to read it. But you could give them a brief explanation of what you need to do. Or don't you know what to do?
I don't know what to do because I've already started it because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I've already started the quest. So why do I care?
Damn.
Okay, so
I've got my quest doing. So Night Demon, tell us what the good people who haven't started their tribute hall quest need to do to get all of that sweet Bad Juju loot very quickly and easily.
Okay, what you need to do is pick your best character, Titan, of course. Go to the barge on Nessus, open up the chest, and get the start of the quest. You then have to follow it up to the point of completing one of the bounties from the Callus statue on the tribute hall. But when it asks you to place the tribute, don't place the tribute. What you then want to do is swap to another character. Again, they have to be over 300 light to get into the tribute hall. You then fly down to the tribute hall, and you should be able to place the tribute. And the door won't open because that player hasn't actually started the proper quest. You then return to orbit, back to the tribute hall and place the tribute again. And you can do this as many times as you like, but you only need to do it 50 times. So you place a tribute, go to orbit, come back, place a tribute, go to orbit, come back. You can check the progress of how many tributes that you've placed if you go into your Triumph section on your player select screen, go into destinations and look under minor, and you'll find tribute hall, and it'll give you a Triumph where you can see how many tributes you've placed. So you'll be able to keep a track of that. You only want to place 50 because 50 will get you the exotic emote. 18 will get you the Bad Juju quest start, and 45, I believe, gets you the Bad Juju masterwork. If you're confused about what to do, as Peroty said, there is a Reddit post that details exactly what you need to do with a few questions and answers underneath by various different community members. And then Cheese Forever has a video guide if you wanted to follow that step by step as well. But for those of us poor individuals who missed the cheese because it came out about 2 or 3 days afterwards, we've got a few more helpful hints for you. What kind of spurred me on to kind of detail all of this was that in the TWAB this week, there was some vital information about one of the Triumphs, the High Roller, that Bungie decided they were going to detail. And this was something that we came up against when we were trying to do it this week. Now, the High Roller Triumph was to complete a Nightfall with 100,000 points, wearing Menagerie or Leviathan Raid armor, or a combination of both, doesn't matter, and having the same with weapons from Menagerie or Leviathan Raids. Now, that can be Year 1 Leviathan Raids, or it can be the Crown of Sorrow Raids, or the Menagerie weapons. When we did it, because a lot of the other tributes say it can be a mixture of armor and weapons, and most of it will progress percentage-wise, this one tribute or Triumph doesn't work like that. So Bungie went into their TWAB and said, right, this is the list of weapons that you can use, and this is the list of armor pieces that you can use from these specific raids.
Which was really helpful because you're going, which of these count? Which of these do I need? Especially if you didn't take the time to farm, 3 or 4 drops and get every single weapon that was out there in the world to get from Menagerie especially.
So they detail that players must complete a Nightfall with a minimum final score of over 100,000 points, and players must have a complete loadout of weapons and armor from any of the following sources, and these can be mixed and matched, and that's the Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, Spire of Stars, the Menagerie, and Crown of Sorrow. And the armor from the Menagerie must be from the Opulence armor set, so it can't be like, I think it's the Exodus down one. You can't have that. It has to be the Opulence set. And eligible weapons include the Allstringer, the Beloved, Callus Mini-Tool, the Durang Broke, the Epicurean, the Fixed Odds, the Imperial Decree, Death's Razor, Golden Tusk, and Throne Cleaver. And there is also another tribute called Lavish Defender, which also has to be done in Nightfalls. So you have to earn points by meeting a minimum score threshold in a Nightfall, which is 50,000, using the Callus-themed armor and weapons earned from the Menagerie or the Leviathan Raid. And it says wearing multiple pieces, especially grant the most efficient progress. And I think this is where a lot of people were getting confused. And with that, it requires multiple runs. So it can either be done on one character over and over, or across your accounts on multiple cameras. But it's 250,000 points that you have to actually do in the end. There's also a tribute called Imperial Foot Soldier, which is completed by earning points by defeating enemy combatants in strikes. And at this point in time, I'm not 100% sure whether this progress can be done whilst doing the Nightfall tributes as well.
What are you asking for? I might know the answer.
The Imperial
Foot
Soldier.
There's an Imperial Foot Soldier tribute Triumph that you need to complete. And it says that you earn points by defeating enemies and combatants in strikes. And again, that's wearing the Menagerie gear or Leviathan gear and using the weapons. But I'm not sure.
It counted for me. It didn't complete, but it counted for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you telling people the right information, not telling them porcupines?
I am because I needed the high roller and I needed the quest steps, so I was paying real close attention to both of those. And whenever we finished the Nightfalls together, I had progress on the whole killing things in a strike. That is a thing. Yeah.
Fair enough. There are 3 Gambit triumphs to achieve. Imperial Scoundrel, and that's earn points by defeating enemy combatants. Imperial Assassin, and that's earning points by defeating enemy guardians, and that's invading or invaders. And the Scoundrel in the uniform is just earn infamy in Gambit. And all of those can be progressed in Gambit whilst using Callus-themed armor and weapons earned from the Menagerie or Leviathan raids. And again, wearing multiple pieces, especially exotics, grant the most efficient progress.
And then
exotics, let's
exactly.
Sorry.
Well, no, that's what I was just say. And by exotics, let's specify which exotics we mean.
Right. Yeah. The only exotics that matter are the exotic weapons that you get from the raids themselves. Okay, so it's not just any exotic, like, oh wow, we can use exotics. No, you have to use exotics that you've gotten from the Leviathan raids, aka 1,000 voices, things like that. Okay.
Well, you wouldn't want to use 1,000 voices.
No, not 1,000 voices. I'm sorry.
That's definitely staying in that blooper.
No, I was thinking that because I just got Wally Bop. No, it's not because I haven't got it. It's because I was playing Gamma just now and I got Wally Bop behind a rock by 1,000 voices.
What's the new exotic submachine gun from the raid?
Taraba.
That's it. You can use that one. Yep. And you can also use Bad Juju. I think it was on your list that you were telling me yesterday.
Yes, it is.
And does Legend of Acreus work as well? Or is that just Catalyst?
Nope, Legend of Acreus works.
Yeah, vaguely remove that one.
And
okay.
Trying to give the people the information here. I honestly, I'm not sure what drops from what raid as exotics, because as you saw.
Do you guys still have that link? We can just post that link that I gave you guys yesterday in the chat in there that shows all of the relevant weapons and armor. Right.
That would be handy if you could find that.
Sure.
And I will put that in the show notes. So there are also 2 Crucible triumphs or tributes that you can earn. So Into the Colosseum is earn points by defeating Guardians in Crucible, and the Emperor's Gladiator is earn Valor in Crucible. Again, wearing the armor, faster progress, using weapons, faster progress. You also have 4 raid-specific tributes that you can earn. Final Exam is earn points by completing counters within the Leviathan raids, and that's Eater of Worlds, Spire of Stars, the Leviathan, and Crown of Sorrow, which can also double up on progress for the Crown Triumph as well, because there's a separate one for that specific raid. So you also have the Succulent Wish, which is earn points by completing encounters in the Last Wish. Fists of the Empire, earn points by completing encounters in the Scourge of the Past. And then Crown of Sorrow, complete encounters in Crown of Sorrow. So with this style of tribute that gives you a kind of percentage for the completion, we were able to test how much you get per item.
Wasn't it 15%?
Yeah, well, doing a section of Eater of Worlds, and we only kind of did 2 sections, but we kind of did the main section of just fighting the enemies before you fall down to the being fired out of the cannon.
Right.
So this was for the Final Exam tribute. And at that point, we hadn't done any progress. So we were able to work out how much we got. So for 4 armor pieces and 1 weapon from the Menagerie, it gave 13% on the in-game progress. I then checked.
I had all Menagerie weapons and armor from Leviathan raid, and I got 15% full setup.
So you had 1 more armor piece, so you got 15.
That's right.
So then checking on braytech.org website, it showed that we had completed 5 out of the 40 points. So that makes sense. With 4 armor pieces and 1 weapon, that was basically 1 encounter. So we got 5 points out of the 40. So if you want to check out how many points you need, roughly working out from percentages, if you go to braytech.org, then that will give you a list of the tributes and how much kind of pointage, if you're looking at points rather than the percentages. Because as Bungie have explained just previous in the podcast, they do it on percentages. So if they change something, it doesn't mess up the game. Whereas Braytech gives you the points that you can then work out. So if it changes, they'll just change the point system. So for 5 items of acceptable armor, roughly got 12.5% progress, but they've rounded it up to 13, as I think the game doesn't work in halves for the percentages. It just rounds it up. So like you were saying, you got another item, so you got 15%, which would then make sense for the 2.5, yeah?
Yes, what he said. And I just want to second your Braytech.org has become my one-stop shop for all things Destiny. The guy on Twitter, Just Real Milk, I'm not sure what his real name is, has been developing this, and he keeps adding to it day over day over day. It's got everything in it: collections, what your clan is up to, things available this week, the full Triumph list with actual numbers. So when Respawn and I worked on our Rat King Catalyst earlier this week, I could go in and see how many total kills we were trying to get in real numbers, as well as the percentages the game would give us.
We need to do some more of that, by the way.
We do. And everything is there. Braytech.org, it is everything. Go there. He has links to everything Destiny you could ever need. That's my plug of the week. Braytech.org. It's wonderful.
Plugging! Haha!
It's amazing.
So something I wanted to mention about the Visage of Callus, the bounties that you can grab from him, and that it states that you can only do 4 a day. Now, with that, you don't necessarily have to do all 4 on the same character. You could just pick like 2 of the easiest ones, like go into the strikes and get 25 headshots, and you have to go to the Tangled Shore and do 2 public events without dying. So you could quite easily do those ones and then swap to another character and pick up the same ones, and it'll save you a lot of time, like rather than go into Gambit and try and get banked 20 motes without dying, because then you've got other guardians coming in, you've got other enemies, bigger enemies that could destroy you. So rather than kind of worry about knocking them all out on one character, you could just mix and match. You don't have to do them all on the one character. But it does state that you can only do 4 a day. And with saying that, our good friend Cheese Forever has an amazing video where you could possibly get up to 12% per day off of your discount. And this is, I'm not 100% sure. I have watched the video and I will link it in the show notes. But it's doing the bounties on all the characters and then turning them in at a specific time. Again, watch the video. I'm going to go off and try it and see if I can get up to 12%, because I've missed a couple over the couple of days. So with that, yeah. So other tributes that you can then get for to be placed are completionists. So it's complete any badge within your collections.
I'm sorry. Hold on just a second.
There were 15 A's in that badge.
He sounded like a sheep going, bad.
What?
You roboted out, but it roboted out on the A part, so you sounded like a sheep trying to read the notes going, this is really bad.
We're just gonna hope that Craig's recording is okay, because otherwise, Night Demon, I'm sorry, it's gonna trash most of what you're saying this week.
Not just that, but like people, if it doesn't break up on his end, people are not going to understand what we're hearing here, right? Because if it comes through clear on the on the edited version or whatever, where he just says bad, right? On our end, what it did, I guess, because there was a lag through the internet or whatever, but instead of just saying bad, it goes bad. He sounded just like a damn sheep trying to read the notes.
I'm sorry.
It's bad enough he's got children, but now he's bringing in the farm animals to read the damn show notes. All right.
Ducky, dolphin, sheep, cow.
Oh yeah,
horse.
that's right. We got the whole freaking farm. Minus, I don't know how many dolphins are on a farm, but it's a dolphin farm. We're going with it.
Hey, it's a thing.
There are other tributes that you can get, which are.
Oh my god, we're still on tributes. Holy gosh!
Because I didn't finish. You said I turned into a robot.
You did turn into a robot, but maybe that was a sign to stop going over to each one of these individually. Craig is trying to tell you something.
Craig's on green now. Craig loves me. So completionist is complete any badge within your collection. So that is Wayfarer, Dredgen, Shadow, all those other badges that you can get that give you a name above your character. Those are what it's talking about. And then Champion Triumph, which is accumulated points for your triumph score by completing triumphs, and you need to get over 40,000 for that to work. There are currently 2 classified tributes. One of these is to complete the Bad Juju exotic pulse rifle mission solo and flawless. This can either be done by cheese or, legit.
And we won't tell you about the cheese. You have to wait and look.
No, I will tell you about the cheese.
Oh, so this cheese they get now. So this is the important cheese. This is the fine, small batch, handcrafted cheese. We have to get it to people quickly.
Okay, do you want to do the cheese just in case I turn into a robot again?
No, you got this.
Okay. So this can be done.
I had to do it.
This can either be done by using a cheese to fully restore your super in the mission, and we have 2 links for this. The first from Glitch Tutorial, and the second from also Glitch Tutorial. We have 2 links from Glitch Tutorial, who initially found the glitch, as his name would suggest. It will require you to purchase the ammo tribute from the Visage of... It will require you to purchase the ammo tribute from the Visage of Callus until you can purchase a crystal which grants super energy in the hall. The tributes are purchased via Glimmer and Legendary Shards, so go see Spider, get your Glimmer, come back. One video shows how to do the glitch by swapping out gear, easier on the PC, and the second glitch shows how to get your infinite super on a hunter with arc staff without swapping, good for console, and good for hunters, because hunters need some love. Just be aware you don't lose progress if you die on the Bad Juju mission, or have to restart a section. You can just keep going until you finish the mission to get your weapon. The tribute for the flawless run is separate and can be done when you initially go for the weapon or afterwards, as it's always available. Now, if you're a badass, or Glimmer, or Shard Poor like Night Demon is,
or me,
or Respawn is, you'll have to do this the hard way. With this, we've covered this. I can't talk today. What is
that noise you're making?
Like a raspberry. TBT. And now, if you're a badass, or Glimmer and Shard Poor like Night Demon and Respawn are, you will have to do this the hard way. With this, we have you covered with a good video from Mesa Sean, who did a solo walkthrough, with using a Warlock, Mineral Tree Dawnblade, and the Whale with the exotic chest piece, Phoenix Protocol, which regenerates your super energy when you kill an enemy within the Well of Radiance. Radiance. You sit in the well, you get lots of stuff back. It's good.
And it has a radius.
That's
video. A thing, though.
Stand in the pee puddle, get yourself wet, kill all the things. You got it. Yes. Accurate, correct. Reading.
So we'll put a link
it's
with that.
Amazing any of us have a podcast.
What, the picture?
For anybody that, this is an audio podcast. Respawn just keeps posting pictures insinuating what we look like minions here.
No. He looks like a minion spitting a raspberry. You look like the sheep with the crazy eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
You're the crazy sheep. I'm the minion. I'm not sure
he's putting it off. He's putting us off doing our, utmost to try and keep this podcast civil and sensible and informative. Again, he's had too much time in the sun today. So, probably alcohol. There's probably alcohol involved as well.
I don't drink, actually. So,
okay. We're just being silly then.
Also, if you are trying to play the mission without the infinite super glitch, Cheese Forever has a few tips for the mission, including taking a Scorch Cannon into the mission as well, and we'll link his video for how to do that.
And the crickets. Okay.
Sorry, well, I've had to go to document number 2, so I hadn't read that one. I had
there's just an email full of videos, man. Hey, look at this video. Hey, look at this video. Hey, look at this video. Hey, here's Cheese Forever. Here's Cheese Forever. Here's Dado. Here's MTashed. Here's more Dado. Here's MTashed. Here's Ninja Pups. Follow plays.
A service. I don't
band wipe.
I do take the time to watch these videos, and if I can, I do go through them and try and work with the game and go through them so that I make sure that it's something that's not just a bunch of rubbish that we're giving you.
Right. This is 100% non-clickbait, hand produced in the fields of the United Kingdom.
Hand research
from Night Demon screams to your ears. He has gone through and personally vouches for each and every one of these videos.
Only him.
Only him. The rest of us are
Only
lazy and do nothing for the show. It's really this.
No,
is
you just wait until I tell you what to do.
With
You
two
go,
Americans,
"Oh."
precisely.
I tell you which videos are really good to watch.
Exactly. You tell me what to watch, and you tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Look,
That's what British
normally,
Jazz is for.
normally that might be accurate, except in this particular point of view, I don't even register half the things that you say.
I know you don't. My poor wife has to put up with me watching Destiny stuff, playing Destiny stuff, talking about Destiny stuff, and now a podcast about Destiny stuff. So she's
Right.
up to the maximum of
Why
Destiny.
isn't she playing Destiny yet?
But at least your call outs are better than I'm over here. Because over here is an exquisite call out in the raid. Which way did you go? I'm over here. Great. Over here. So yes, please watch the raid videos. You can watch the Respawn's call outs and me screaming at him going, over here is not a valid call out.
Look, you can see my name on the map, and you need to learn how to read the map. All right, so it's not even my fault for giving a bad call out. The dude spawns in front of a map that he could just look at as he's zooming by and doesn't even bother to give it any recognition.
If I knew how to read the map, because the guy who's supposed to teach me things has left me high and dry, resetting myself.
Have you gone over the point where Respawn chose the person that didn't have a mic to communicate back to him as his partner?
No, I mean that was perfection. I thought that was just
so
peak Respawn.
So we had a guy that kept messing up, right? And he didn't have a mic. So because I was reading the map on my own, right? I know, but because I was reading the map on my own, I was like, why don't we just make the guy that can't talk the map reader? And this was a great idea until I realized that once I'm not near the map and I have the ball in my hand, I need someone to tell me where to take the damn thing.
Yeah, it didn't go super well.
To be fair though, that was like my one mistake of the raid. Okay. That was my one boo-boo.
No, that was just one of the mistakes.
Hey, I don't make mistakes, and I've done that raid so many freaking times. I don't make mistakes.
That's the problem. There was no communication. Over here, as we've discussed, is not communication.
Listen, but that was not the crux of the raid problem. Okay, that was definitely not
the raid problem. Was 5 people who had no idea what they were doing, trying to get through it, and not.
We did well. We did well.
How did you even get there? How did you? Because this was your checkpoint, right? So how did you get to that checkpoint without knowing what's going on?
What do you mean? I've done the raid. I did the raid with you.
I know, but this guy's over here saying 5 people that don't know what they're doing. Well, obviously, some of these guys knew what they were doing.
3.5.
I knew what I was doing because I was reading the map for you.
My God, I know. I was trying to defend you against his comment, you sociological, I don't even know what the hell I'm saying, person.
You mean there was 4 people in the raid that didn't know what they were doing?
Yeah. Yes. That's what he was trying to come to your aid, and you were just preventing him from even coming to your aid.
Yeah. So
no, but he questioned why I actually had the checkpoint.
That's what I wasn't questioning why you had the checkpoint.
Well, why didn't you just say Night Demon had the checkpoint, so we obviously knew what he was doing to get there.
I'm bad with
why go around in a circle and make it look like you're arguing the fact that I didn't know how I got there and I just happened to get a checkpoint?
I'm beautiful. Okay, that's all you need
because
to know.
I was trying to make the joke that you were kicked out of another raiding party earlier in the day because they told you to go here, stand here, and didn't provide you proper communication either, and they kicked you out of the raid group, which is why you had the checkpoint to give to us, who clearly...
Did you actually get kicked out of a raid group? Is that how you got the checkpoint?
Huh? Yes, you did. And that's the joke I was trying to make before you derailed it. So, joke aborted. Moving on.
They'd already failed like 3 or 4 times, but I kind of got the blame for the last time and I got kicked, so...
It's because your British accent. That's what it was.
I try not to do too much talking. I try and pay attention.
That's what it was.
No, I try and learn what's going on. You know, if there's
that's what the problem was.
Try to learn it and then pass it on. But if it's rubbish, like what they were doing with no communication and let's go and just stand here, that's not going to work.
It's really not.
No.
Yes, standing over here does not work.
But we are going to have to practice the whole, green room is fine and dandy and everything like that. But we need to learn. Well, not we. I know how. But you guys need to learn how to set up the triangle whichever direction he's facing, wherever he might be stunned.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a good thought.
Have you opened up the second document for your emails?
I'm in the email, yeah.
So those of us who haven't been, enjoying our Scourge of the Past failure raids and video, if you need materials once again, Cheese Forever has a Bad Juju tips video, and also, which we've talked about before, going into a forge, putting on super low light gear, failing the forges over and over again. You can do this on either Nessus or the EDZ to get the planetary materials from either planet to then feed into the Callous Visage to get your Bad Juju.
And
Again,
you can also trade the data lace and the dust light shards at the spider for glimmer or
World
other stuff.
consumables.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. My last 5 tributes, that's exactly what I did. I didn't have any legendary shards, but I had a ton of tokens from everybody. So I went around to everybody turning in all those tokens just to get legendaries I didn't need, sharded them, went back to him with 300 shards and just got all the materials I needed. I'm done with this nonsense. So I mean, it's a way to do it, especially if you got a ton of tokens or a ton of legendary shards. Absolutely. I wouldn't even invest, if I'm being honest, I would not invest the time to complete tributes if I just had planetary materials. Just go out and get it, man.
Yeah, and keep an eye on what Spider's selling each day, because you can go and, especially if you have a large stash of legendary shards, you can buy Glimmer with the legendary shards, or just buy the planetary materials with them, or vice versa, and change them all into things. Spider's like a bank. Go to the bank, make your withdrawal, make your deposits, change your currencies out.
Hope for the best.
It'll get you taken care of. And I think on, and of course, this will be well past when this podcast comes out, but I think
don't say
yesterday on the 12th, I think he had well, I'm just saying, there's a chance where
there's no point in saying it.
Yeah, he's going to keep going.
You know this isn't going to go out until at least the 14th, 15th, maybe.
Well, I'm going to say, it's already happened, but keep an eye out, because he may sell everything you need in one day, like he did.
Yeah, I think you said that.
He sold.
You don't need to go back and tell us what he had 3 days ago. It's not helpful now.
I don't remember him saying that, though. When did he say that?
Well, now it's done. Well, I didn't say it because I couldn't say it. Because
we didn't let it.
Now it's done. Now everybody's fine.
So Dado has a really good guide playlist for The Last Wish, which Night Demon.
No, you skipped that bit up the top. I know you want to get through this and go off to dinner.
You're right. Sorry. Well, I've got this again. I've got this in another document. I just copied and pasted into the other thing, so it all.
Honestly, Peroty, I do like the fact that you've taken the time to open the other document and try and read it, whereas Respawn hasn't even.
I'm looking at it. You asked me if I see it, and I'm right here looking at it. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to take a screenshot of what I'm looking at right now?
You could just take a turn in reading. I can take a turn.
You want me to take a turn? Look, go look up Cheese Forever, Dado, M-Tash, Ninja Pups, and Fallout Plays. The recent videos tell you how to do all the that we're talking about right here. Done.
It's not their recent videos.
I would like to apologize to everyone who is trying to listen to the podcast this week.
There's going to be so many dolphins involved in that whole thing.
This is going to be the recording.
I know. I'm just going to dolphin you out.
It just never sees the light of day. It's going to be. This just to be about 5 minutes long of Respawn being taken out to the music. He's just going to replay one line over and over again, and then just say, "I'm very sorry, people. We had some recording."
I was just letting him talk. He was on a roll, man.
And that's it.
I'm trying to be considerate, and you're like, Respawn's not even looking. I'm just right here, man. Right here.
I just wanted to pick on you. Sorry.
With the Moment of Triumph 2019, tributes that you need to complete for respective badges, we have found a few raid guides that have you covered. I won't tell you what they are. I'll leave that to somebody else. But if you need,
I'll tell you what the secret one is.
Go to the clan.
The secret one is if you listen to No One Respawns on this cast for more than 10 minutes without skipping, you get a secret triumph.
And 5,700 pod coins.
5,700 pod coins.
But if you're looking for a raid group, now is a good time, especially with the triumphs coming out. Use your Xbox Guide LFG, go to the 100.io, go to the DestinyLFG.net, and really just look for people out finding groups. Look at your Discords, look at your clans. Join the Frozen Clan. The Guardian Hub folks have the Guardian Hub folks have started their own clan for PC and PS4 folks. Hanging out over there with them. They're good guys. They do a ton of raiding. Now's a good time. If you aren't in a clan or if your clan's not super active, go clan shopping, because there are a lot of people out trying to get these moments of triumphs done. So if you don't like the clan you're in, go find another one.
Also, even if you don't want to join the Frozen Clan, if you see us, say, hey, I listened to the podcast. Would you like to do XYZ? I mean, most of the time I'm just, wasting time anyway. So yeah, if somebody actually comes up to me and they want to accomplish something, I try to be accommodating. So I don't know about these other two,
You may have to explain what you need us to do, but Yeah, for the most part, we're happy to help out with whatever.
Yeah.
I've run, I don't know, Truth and Lumina and Thorn things this week going, just tell me what step you're on, tell me what you need me to do. I'll happily do it.
Don't expect us to do Outbreak Prime Catalyst, though.
We're not good.
Not the best. Maybe Respawn, but
yeah, it's not
us.
too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
We fail.
I
We can't even jump.
Peroty can't tell his left from his right, so don't do it with him. Respawn will say over here as a call out. Peroty will say left when he means right, and Night Demon he'll get to the important part of the call out and just fade out to nothing. So I'm not saying we'll be the best of help.
You say that, but I will. That's probably going to be one of my lasting Destiny memories. Is when you said it's over here to the left. Okay, no, I meant the other direction. And then later on in that same event, he's like, it's over here on the left. I was like, actual left or your left? And he said, actual left. And I was going the opposite direction, or the other way.
Left actual. It's over here.
Actually left, right? So I took the initiative that you were already wrong and started going the opposite direction. And then I realized, oh, wait, no, this time he was actually correct.
Gotta keep you on your toes. Gotta keep you always guessing.
So
like you said,
if you haven't guessed, because of these triumphs, we are all of us trying to do the triumphs and the trophies for the end of year. So we are trying to do raids and things now. So it's quite funny to watch us do raids.
Yeah.
But I would say if you are LFGing it or you are kind of looking for groups, just be honest with the people and tell them in the chat or when you do contact them that you haven't done it. If you haven't done it, or you need a bit of help on a certain situation for the encounter. And you should, be lucky enough to find a group who are willing to guide you through the new raids and things.
No, whatever he's telling you, don't do this. Look, I had a great teacher. I had a great teacher when I was getting my Cisco certifications. He said, lie. Because by the time somebody finds out that you're lying, now you've got experience for the next group.
Then you've already failed the raid.
Doesn't matter. You've got experience now.
I'm with Night Demon on this.
If you want to listen to the Cisco engineer over there who's going to destroy your engineering works, then listen to him about
don't listen
lying.
To Cisco engineer anyway. It's all going to end in sadness and failure. No, go into the raid, and honestly, if they kick you out because you don't know anything, you don't want to be in the raid group anyway because they're probably going to screw it up.
Yeah.
You want to be with people that are actually going to take you and show you what to do, or they carry you through knowing that you don't really know much and you're just kind of on ad control and things. But if you are on ad control, pay attention to what they're actually doing and what their call outs are. Because I found that in the last wish in the last week. I went with a group and I was honest from the start and said, look, never done it before, done raids before, but just not done this one. Could you, take me through? And I was basically ad control, but I watched what they were doing, listened to the call outs, and a lot of the things you can kind of, if you've done it and you've gone through with the group, you can then go back and watch the videos on it. And then you go, oh, you know what? I understand what they were doing there and what those call outs were. So it was all helpful. And in saying that, Datto has a really good raid guide playlist where he goes through each encounter and breaks it down in each video. And most of the information is still relevant, but as light levels have gone up over the last year, and so is the DPS on most of the bosses, they can all be cleared in one phase, really. And again, most raid teams will know all the strats to kind of do this and do it in one phase. So if you're not sure, ask. And I will link Datto's Last Wish guides, advice, and challenges, because there are some challenges that you can pick up from Hawthorne. She gives you a couple of bounties. Some groups will take you through and do the challenges at the same time. Some won't. They'll just kind of just run you through the raid. But if you can do one and get through it, at least you've completed the triumph and done the tribute for it. And you may then be able to pick up extra raid groups to then kind of do the odd little bit. Again, if you're wearing your Menagerie or Leviathan armor to complete that part of the tributes.
And that's just a good point. Just going through all these things, open up braytech.org, open up DIM, open up something and look at the triumphs, because you may be able to knock out 2 or 3, or at least get progress on a couple of things at once. If you're going to do a raid, throw some armor on, change your loadout slightly. You can knock some of these things out without having to do them again and again and again. There's a lot of things like that. You can do more than one at a time.
Raids. Yeah, but a lot of these raids are just people overcomplicate raids, and it's not as bad as some people make it out to be, right? Some people are just like, oh, I can't do the raid and this and that and the other. It's just about the mechanics and following instructions. As long as you can do what someone tells you to do, you should be fine. If you can't do what somebody tells you to do, then we've got deeper issues that we need to talk about and resolve. Okay.
Yeah, but there are some groups that kind of tell you, and there are some groups that kind of tell you. You know, you have to find the right balance of a group that you kind of gel with. Yeah. You don't want a group where they're kind of screaming at you and you don't really understand what's going on, and then you're too afraid to actually say, oh, could you kind of explain it in like I'm a 5-year-old kind of thing? You know, it's...
Yeah. You want to raid with your clans when they're screaming at you that you're screwing up, but you're all laughing at the same time. Except for Respawn, who doesn't enjoy laughter.
With the other guys...
I like laughing.
So he claims.
I just don't like doing the last phase of the raid for 30 minutes. That's not funny. Or for 3 hours, not 30 minutes.
I was going to say
3 hours. Minutes. It was 2 hours and 20 minutes because we spent 40 minutes in Spiral Stars or whatever it's called, Eater of Worlds.
Oh my God. That's such a huge difference. That last part of the raid takes about 10 minutes max. And we spent minimum 2.5 hours on it.
Clearly not max.
But they were learning how to do it. What happened with the time the first raid team went in there?
I'm sorry, what?
For the World's First.
Oh, World's First?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about them?
They obviously spent a lot of time trying to work it out as well.
No, they didn't.
You're talking about a group that haven't watched any videos, didn't really know what was going on.
But
so
see,
it was
that's
kind
your
of like
first mistake.
the blind. It was like the blind leading the blind.
No, I wasn't blind. I knew what was going on. You guys freaking blind. Stupid.
I could read the map.
Leading the blind.
Rating it.
Yeah.
Not listening.
You'd done it before as well as I had. Had Peroty done it before?
No,
no.
The last time we did, we got up to the final boss, and then Luna drug Respawn away, and then someone else had to go.
No, that was it. Yeah, I said I'd join Respawn, and he took me through the last encounter, the final encounter.
Right. And honestly, like
10 minutes, wasn't it, Respawn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I wish when we started that someone would have just said, "Hey, this encounter, it's basically the same mechanic as the very first room. You know, someone reads a map, you go somewhere, you kill a guy." That would have short-circuited the whole explanation for me.
Yeah, but then you have some people, when you tell them CAP is a thing and they don't move and they kill the entire team.
Oh, no, the best bit was, hang on a minute, I'll res them. No, you go back over to where your circle is. Don't come over here and res them.
Right?
You're killing everybody.
Yeah, that was the thing.
You've got like 2.5 minutes to res somebody. Leave them dead until the wipe stuff's gone.
Until the white stuff's gone.
No, the wipe. You know, the wipe.
Oh,
mechanic.
the wipe. Oh, I think you said the white stuff. What the hell are you talking about?
Donut.
Right. Anyway.
So for the other guides, we have an MTash Scourge of the Past guide for noobs, where he walks you through his run with some interesting tips throughout. I've watched that. That was quite good. Because that gave me a few tips on how to read the map, which then I didn't get much hassle.
Look, you only get hassle from me,
which is a triumph in and of itself,
right?
Yeah. Or if you don't want to go with MTash, you want to stick with Datto, he has a 2-part video for Scourge, where he details the first part of the raid up to the final boss in the first video, and then the whole of the second video is dedicated to the final boss section. So you've got that. And then for our final raid guide for Crown of Sorrow, we have Ninja Pups, and he's got an in-depth walkthrough guide where he breaks down all the new mechanics and what you need to do in your teams. Because as Respawn would probably verify, because he's done it, that you have to break off into 3 teams of 2. And there's kind of positive and negative.
Yeah, it depends on the part, but for the most part, yeah, it's 3 teams of 2. But
then there's a lot of swapping over with blessings, isn't there? Especially the final encounter where you have to be communicating with your partner and then with other teams around the map. So there's a lot of that, which I found really interesting on the Ninja Pups guide. And then if anybody out there is looking to grind out for their shadow title for season 7, Ninja Pups also has a good in-depth guide to help, where he covers like from the chalice, the opulence badge, and the shadow triumph. So that's worth checking out. But that will require you to have done the Crown of Sorrow raid and do the flawless part of the triumph for that. So if you've got a good team, or you can find a good team for that, that's probably worth going for.
You are going to need a good team for that, though. Like a lot of these other raids, you can just kind of, skirt your way through because the damage you have and these new weapons that you have. But this last raid, there is a ton of communication and there's a lot of things happening that you do need a good team. And I don't like to really say this because people that are like, oh, I've seen the videos, immediately tilt me, right? But at the same time, I understand you got to start from somewhere, right?
There's seeing it and there's doing it. And you
Right.
can watch all the videos, but doing it, it's a different thing.
It is. Don't come at me like, oh, I've seen all the videos, I know what I'm doing. Because like he said, there's seeing and then there's doing. But at the same time, if you can say, look, I've seen the videos, but I haven't actually done it, I'm going to need some help with this and, maybe a kind of trial and error kind of phase or whatever, right? Because you are going to need that. It's just don't come in like, oh, I've seen all the videos, because you're going to get everyone killed. As long as you're not that guy, you should be fine. You want to talk about a Respawn rant that I had earlier this week in my own little private
No way.
private time? Oh, dude.
You've kept this one secret. There's
I've
a Respawn
lost-
rant?
Dude.
Cue the music.
Whenever the triumphs came out, one of the triumphs is you have to complete the newest raid that just came out, and I completed it, right? But I did the first couple encounters, and then I did the last encounter. I didn't do the one or two in the middle. And I guess because I didn't do those, it doesn't count me as actually having done the raid for the triumph. I was really, really mad about that. The household was lit for a little while. Dogs were barking, children were crying, wife was complaining. It was an event, but yeah, I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if I glitched out or what. Maybe somebody can, maybe let us know. Did anybody else have an issue with that? But yeah, I didn't get the triumph for completing the newest raid whenever those triumphs came out. So that hurts my soul like a lot.
So you haven't got an emblem?
I don't have an emblem. I don't have the emblem.
So all these weeks you've been telling us you've done it.
I did technically
Lied to
complete the raid.
You've lied to yourself.
I
You've
did
lied to
technically
people.
complete it. I've killed the final boss, and I've completed the first two encounters. But
haven't.
I have.
No, you haven't. You haven't.
I did.
The triumphs don't lie.
Okay,
The
so
triumph
remember when we
sometimes
were
lies.
reading about
The
all the
triumph
bugs in the
always
beginning of
lies.
this podcast, about all the things that were broken? They don't lie? Are you sure about that? I know.
Triumphs
It
lie
wasn't
when
really
they
a rant, was it? It was kind of a
No.
Respawn
I
moans.
said earlier I had a rant in the week. I
Yeah,
didn't say
but
this
I've already
was going to
queued
be a
up the
rant.
music. The music has played.
You didn't
Well,
cue the
people-
music.
Well,
You haven't done anything yet.
On the, on the
since-
edit, there'll be music.
Since
queued
his
it
rant
up
started,
And
I've
I've let people. You've let people. You've
You
lured
haven't
them into a
edited
full sense of
anything.
security.
You haven't
You've
edited
let-
anything. How did you cue anything up?
lured
Cue.
people into
Not
a full
cue.
sense of security because Peroty said play the music. I've played the music. It's in there.
Why are
it's
you
in
going to
the
listen to
edit.
parody?
Because Peroty has a rant this week, because Peroty is trying to get through a reckoning, because throughout the entire Siege of the Drifter, I never got my Notorious Armor. Because
Right.
I didn't really care, it's not really a thing, but now there's
Right.
triumphs, I want to get through them. I like a Notorious Armor set. So I spent the better part of 2 days running through Reckoning, mostly solo, because it's mostly worked out. I had a couple of
Right.
runs with 2 phenomenal well locks. We rolled through that thing, we burned it like nothing.
You need
Most of
well
the
locks
time-
in that mode.
most
by the
of the
way.
time, I'm queuing with
Yeah.
my Banner Shield Titan with 3 Hunters.
Yeah.
Hunters can't stay alive. Hunter
No.
brethren, we need one of you for a shadow shot.
No.
The rest of you, you're not needed. You're not helpful. You're not useful. I spent
Really
more
not.
time with the Banner Shield up, keeping the 2 Chad Knights away from you, bringing my entire team back just to look around and see one of you already dead by the time I respawn the 3rd guy.
Oh yeah.
Hunter friends,
I
Go
know.
do something
I
else.
even know that this is
you
a thing.
know you need Notorious Armor. Not with me. Go do something else. Go play another activity. I don't need Hunters. I ran through with 4 Titans. We burned through it. I ran through with a couple Wellocks. No problem. We had a guy with a bubble and a Wellock and a Banner Shield. I don't even remember who the 4th guy was because it doesn't
You ran
matter.
through with 4 Titans. How
Just
did you
with 4
manage? How did you manage
Uh,
that on nutrition?
Titans and Banner Shields, my friend. Everyone becomes a detonator. You also get a health back when those.
Oh, is that
detonators
what it is? You
explode.
get, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I may be missing that perk up, but you do get some health back with that. Yeah, no, we burned through that with no problem.
Okay.
But Hunter friends, I love you in some activities, but not Reckoning. I am 1 helmet away. I have 16 butt capes. I've got arms, legs. I've got chest pieces for days. I just need a helmet that the game will not give me, which is my other rant about the menagerie. Everyone's upset. Oh, we only get 1 drop. Oh, I have to run the menagerie. Menagerie is an experience you cannot fail. It can take you 45
Heroic,
minutes
you
to
can.
get through it. You can fail the heroic, but I can go in and I can go to my chalice and I can say, here's what I want. I can open D2 chalice on my phone. I can press the little thing that I want. I can slot those runes in. I will get whatever I want out of that run. It may take me 20 minutes. It may take me an hour and a half. I may have a team where half my team's AFK half the thing and it takes us forever to get through it, but I will still eventually get that drop at the end. Every time I'll get a drop. I know people are sad, oh, I don't get 4 drops. I can't get 16 drops. Deal with it. You played an activity, you got a reward. How many times can you play Reckoning Tier 3 and not get a reward because your hunter team can't stay alive? So, hunters, again, I love you, just not in the Reckoning. Menagerie, a far better activity than the Reckoning. That's my rant for the week. Since Respawn can't bring it, I will bring the rant for the week.
I tell you what.
I'm
I
frustrated.
will find
I just
a
need
rant
a notorious
to complain
hat.
about next week. All right. I mean, honestly, I don't have any rants because I'm kind of okay with where the game is right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, the game's a really good spot. It's just these moments when I look at things again, like Reckoning and Menagerie. I'm like, here are 2 activities brought out, back to back. Again, probably developed by different teams, maybe simultaneously, maybe 30 different times. But it's, you can at least see the evolution of, hey, we've got an activity where you're going to get the reward. I would love to see them put some of that back into Reckoning. Give me a little chance of this. But again, also Season of Drifter's over. We're going free to play. We're moving on. Things are moving forward.
Speaking of moving forward, hold up. I got to think. Exotic protection, Bungie really needs to get somebody on this, right? Because I'm missing my punchy gloves for my hunter, and I've gotten, I don't even know how many exotics. I've at least 10. At least 10 exotics. And every one of them is copies. I only have one piece of exotic gear that I'm missing on my hunter, and I'm getting literally everything except that. Fix the exotic protection and give me my punchy gloves.
Hunters are for being punched. They're not for punching. Hunters don't punch. They're there to be killed by titans who punch them. That's it.
Listen, I've been trying not to talk a bunch of crap about the damn Titans because apparently at some point...
Now you're on a ban.
Apparently, Demon has been butthurt about it. I'm trying to stay away from it. You are antagonizing me, Perry.
Enough!
That's
no more Titan bashing.
Warlocks, we love you. Everyone loves a warlock.
Tell him, Mom!
That doesn't a warlock. That doesn't love a warlock.
Peroty.
And I would like to bring you...
to solve your rant, young man, go to the 100.io. Go to the destiny.net and look for people that are actually doing the reckoning and say, I want to do the reckoning, I want to get the helmet, and then I want to get it out of here.
I just want to have a hat. I don't care if the rolls of the hat are good. I just want a hat.
Yeah, but I'm saying use the appropriate apps before you come in here and moan because you're not fully prepared.
I'm coming to moan. Well, if he won't
said
rant,
you're doing the rant inappropriately, dude.
Yeah, yes. I'm not ranting.
What? That is an inappropriate rant, good sir.
But I would like to back up my previous statement. Bungie Help has tweeted out 5:05 p.m. on July 12th. That's yesterday as we record. AMD has identified the issue impacting the ability to run Destiny 2 on the Ryzen 3000 processors and have implemented a BIOS fix that has been distributed to partners. In the coming days, players will be able to download the BIOS from their motherboard providers. So if you're trying to run D3, you've got bigger problems. If you're trying to run D2,
if you're trying to D3, send me a link.
It only works with the Ryzen 3. Yes, but they have fixed the issue with the Ryzen 3000 processors. So look for a firmware update from whoever your motherboard manufacturer
if you're playing D3000.
Also, buy your raid banners. For the love of God, people, go see Petra. Buy your raid
my God, you finally realized the importance of those things? Hallelujah.
I had 50 of them the other day when I started. I've been handing them out in the Reckoning and the Raid and the Menagerie like they're candy to babies because apparently nobody else has them.
It's a trick. They do have them. They're holding on to them.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't put a raid banner down. You put one raid banner. There's 6 encounters at max if you can get through. If you put yours down, don't hand out any more.
That's FYI, if you're the guy that puts it down for the rest of that encounter, you are going to be the guy that puts them down. Nobody else will.
Yeah, you're a raid banner guy. It's like, no, we're done.
No, I refuse. I put one down and that's it. I've taken my turn. I'm not doing it anymore.
And then I'm going to sit there and drink my coffee in my coffee mug and stare at the rest of my team and go, I don't care. I have my super still. This is your problem.
Yeah.
If you have your super still, you're not doing something right, man. You're not participating with the rest of the group.
No, it's because
we're wearing appropriate exotics to get our.
It's because I've run around and picked up all the orbs after the fact and
didn't die
and looted the room before we moved on to the next encounter because the time doesn't run through that. Who cares?
Yeah,
I have properly looted the room once everything's dead, and there's always orbs laying around as well as ammo. I don't need a Ray banner every time because I have restocked myself because Titans are self-sufficient.
So I know we went off topic with a couple of rants there.
No way.
We went off topic for moment one of this podcast.
I know. Right in the middle of tips and tricks, you've really upset people because we said it was all going to be cheese and all going to be tips and tricks, and then you've really confused them by sticking a rant in there.
We have.
Now,
I have no idea
cut the rant out and put it somewhere appropriate so that we've got a full set of cheese? Or do we just let the people listen to you rant in the middle of the cheese?
Listen, there's nothing professional about this. They all know we're here just kind of improvising this entire thing, and they know what to expect from us, which is
exactly.
Have we gotten to the Clan Finder update, or are we still going through cheeses?
No, we've got
my way because I have the answer to our
two
update.
There's two. There's two more. There's two more things. Just two things we need to cover.
Well, then go do it.
The weapons.
Or is it my turn? Is it my turn to do things?
Well, you can do the weapons if you want. But have you watched the videos? Could you tell people information about the videos? No. So I'm going to read it because you haven't even looked at them. So Fallout Plays has another God Roll guide for the Imperial Decree shotgun from the Menagerie.
Oh, I did see that. Ha!
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a PvE God Roll guide. Which, You know, which surprised me because I thought, shotgun, it would be PvP, but no, it's not. Do you want to tell us a bit about it as soon as you've watched it?
Sure. Yeah. Basically, what he does is he just goes over. Damn it, I don't remember the exact perks that he used. But yeah, I do remember that.
We don't have to tell the exact perks because it's in the video, and that's what we're telling people to watch.
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking.
But if you found something interesting that you want to talk about, we'll put it in the podcast. But if you haven't, then be quiet and I'll carry on.
Well, I mean, interesting that I didn't already know, or interesting that I already knew?
Don't pretend that you knew everything.
No, I don't know everything, but I know a lot about the shotguns, and he was talking about like small bore. Like, I don't like small bore since it's been nerfed. But he's saying that for PvE, small bore is still a thing because you get right up on the enemies, right? You're not like in PvP where
small bore
ranges...
wasn't part of the God roll. So why are you talking about that?
It is.
No, it's not.
It was. Yes.
No, it wasn't.
Go
watch the video.
On the PvE
come back
version?
To me.
On the PvE, yes, the hell it is.
Come back after you've watched the video. We'll
I
even
did.
Wait. Go on, watch the video again, and then come back and tell me what the barrel perk is for the PvE version. Go on, click the video. We'll wait.
Which one is it? Where is it at?
Which one is it?
No. Fallout Plays. Okay, Fallout Plays.
Follow.
Is right there. There it is.
This is going to be the lost podcast episode. I'm telling you, it's never going to see the light of day.
You keep saying that, but people are all like, "Oh, I expect my podcast."
I might even leave this in to see how long it takes. Just skip to the end. That'll really help.
I'm going.
Okay.
Well, no, at the end he changes it, but during the middle he's talking about right here, right here. This is what he's talking about right here. Right here is like. Hold on. I'm reading it right here. This is what I'm talking about right here. He's talking about how in PvE, I'm right here, 2 minutes, 55 seconds. He's talking about in PvE, the freaking small bore is still very viable in PvE. It might not be a part of his final god roll, but he's talking about he does use it in PvE shotguns. Thank you and good night.
What's the PvE god roll barrel perk?
There it is.
I'm sorry you have to edit this.
He's not going to edit it here.
No, I'm not.
Oh, I don't have speakers on. That's the thing.
You've got you're listening to us. What are you listening to us through? The sound can come through the things you're listening to us on.
He's got to listen to it separately.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll cut out most of these pauses while we're waiting for him. Maybe you could do a song in between. What? It's only one perk. It's literally millisecond of the video, he just goes, "This is the best perk. This is the best, gun."
But that's the
barrel
thing, finding out where that part of the video is, because right now he's talking about skip back and finding all this freaking crap because he's past the board thing. Past
the end of the video.
I'm at the end. Okay, here we are at the end. Right here. The end. The end is right here. Here's the end. This is the end. This is the end. And here we go. Link down below. Where's the link down below? There's no link down below. Now it's sub to my channel. Right? There it is. Right there. Right there. Hold on. You said wait till the end. It's waiting. And it's gone. Okay, so that's not it.
Hold on. I've got the solution to our problems here.
So while he's watching that.
Oh, there it is. Hold on. There it is.
No, he's coming back.
The barrel perk is. I don't know that symbol.
He tells you the name of it.
Hold on. Here we go. I went too far ahead. You said go to the end. It's like 3 minutes.
Need to figure out how to pipe the audio from this into the Discord.
Rifle barrel. Ha I found it. But that might be the final download. But earlier in the video, he was talking about how if you don't have that particular barrel, that you can still use small bore just because the enemies tend to be larger or right in your face for PvE. So yeah, PvE. So you're right, it's not the final god roll, but he was talking earlier about how it's still a very viable barrel to use on shotguns in PvE. So yeah, there's that.
Good. Okay, moving on to the next video is from Band Wipe. He has a video for an interesting role on the Crucible hand cannon, the Better Devils. Now, this is one that's kind of been left to the wayside at the moment, especially with the service revolver, the Rose, and other hand cannons. But in his video, he goes over the roles that you should be looking for to build this as a sniper counter weapon. And what you're going to be looking out for, the main perk that he points out, is the timed payload. In the first part of the video, he shows you getting the engrams from Zavala and opening up packages, and he talks you through what roles he's looking for and why. And then he takes it into PvP in a private match just so you can test it out. But again, that's interesting if you are like a hand cannon
enthusiast.
That's it, enthusiast. This may be one for you. I did kind of try and roll the same thing, so I've got a timed payload one that I'm going to try out and see if that's any good.
Ding, 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 ding.
The hell was the point of that?
Ding.
That was
Ding.
too late.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's why you were trying to work out getting stuff on the through there.
I'm not traumatized anymore. I've been to therapy. I've had my dings, counseled out of me. So joke's on you.
Okay. So last couple of bits, we've got Clan Finder update. So my friend, the Celestial Talons over on PC, has asked, and they say begged. No, actually, he didn't beg.
Gonna get called out. I'm sorry, I did what?
Requested.
He's requested
Vehemently.
if we could find him a clan over on PC. So if anybody has a clan over on PC,
you should know what clan people should join if they're on the PC that we've already
Frozen.
talked about in this
no,
episode.
but I'm
Guardian Hub.
Our
I'm
friends over at
doing
the
what he's
Guardian Hub-
asked.
Our friends over at the Guardian Hub have just started.
I
a
was right.
clan
I just guessed.
at our request, saying, "Hey guys, do you have a clan?" And they're like,
How
we
did you
should have a
guess?
clan."
He said it earlier in the podcast.
Exactly.
Not today. We did not. Did
I
we?
sure did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Earlier today. Yeah, our friends over at the Guardian Hub. The Guardian
Habit?
Hub. Yes,
The Garden
with the hat
Habit.
caps.
Habib.
Absolutely. Our friends over the Guardian Hub have started a god damn it, podcast something clan. I give up. Words. Are hard.
And there's his breakdown of the day. Love it.
No, I already
today.
I need to be rebooted desperately. I need that same firmware update that the Ryzen 3000s are getting. I need the Peroty 1000 needs a firmware update because something has just gone off. The
Okay,
rails.
so the Guardian Hub have a clan on PC is what you're trying to tell me. So
Yes. I'm desperately
put
trying
Celestial-
to say he should
a
join
little
the
message
Guardian Hub.
saying,
It's called
"Go here,
the
do
Guardian
this."
Hub. I don't have a link for it on the top of my head, but it's called the Guardian Hub. Search for it on the Bungie.net. They have a clan. They do lots of raiding. They're good folks. Go join them.
Okay, so I think we found our first clan finder thing. So if anybody is looking for a clan, then they can contact us. Or if anybody has a clan, they can contact us. So either
If
way,
anybody's just got time to kill, you can contact us.
yeah. So another thing that Celestial Talons has brought up, he said that he's been playing Gambit over the last couple of weeks or last couple of days to get his 21% delirium. But he's been running into people running macros and not playing again on PC.
Oh my god!
So
yes.
he's quit out of one match, and then he gets straight back into another match where people are doing exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he quits again, only to end up back in the same match with people using the macros and going AFK. But because he quits out of that one, he gets the ban from Gambit. So he feels this is very unfair.
It is.
As he wants to play the game.
Right. And unfortunately, he's probably he's out down there in Australia, probably a smaller pool of people.
No, he's not Australian. He's English.
Good
UK.
job, Peroty.
Who? Wait, is this
Celestial Talons.
He's an Australian? I thought for sure he was one of Andy's recruits. I am
No.
Talons. I am so sorry. I thought you were one of Andy's recruits. I am very sorry.
He's not sorry.
No, I am sorry. I thought for sure he was one of Andy's guys.
No.
Moving
Never
on.
mind. Sorry. Strike that.
No.
I feel like I've mentioned this before and you've never corrected me. So now I've just been an idiot for many, many weeks. So good times.
Well,
No, I don't think you've ever said that he's Australian, or that I've caught it that you thought he was Australian.
and I don't even
so
know
what
who
were
we're
you
talking
saying about
so
that
there's
it's unfair? We'll just cut that bit out.
It is unfair, though. So yeah, it's not fair that people are AFK and getting progress towards whatever quest that they're working on, and people that actually want to play the game quit out of the match to join another game in progress or in general, so that they can actually play the game. And instead, he's getting penalized. So it's
a
not
new
good,
thing,
man.
isn't it? In the last update, I think,
No,
where they they reintroduced the ban before they took it out, and now they've put it back in. But
Exactly,
obviously,
it was
kind of
there,
having
then they
the
weren't.
wrong kind of effect on people.
I don't know, because I ended up having network issues. I got DC'd and I got like a 15-minute ban before this update. I thought.
Right. It was there before, and they took it back out. I don't remember if it was for season. I don't remember when they took it out. It was there, then they took it out. And I'd have to go back and look at the show notes to see when they took it out the last time.
Disregard my last. Yeah, it's unfair. Moving on.
No, but I think he wants us to kind of point it out to Bungie that this is a thing that's happening, especially over on PC.
I mean, I wish we could point out things to Bungie. I just don't think that we're important enough
Somebody
for them to listen to us.
have listened to us. Somebody at Bungie is listening to us. But it's hard if somebody's using a macro, as I guess.
Yeah, if you.
I'm not au fait with these things. I mean, what does that entail? Just kind of using a
but
program.
how do you stop people from using macros without
I've seen the same
getting
thing
rid of the ban? And once you get rid of the ban,
on Xbox this
how do you
week,
stop people from just leaving matches
AFK?
if it's not going their way?
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the scene. I mean, it's probably maybe not macros, but maybe a rubber band on a controller. I've seen people in Gambit and Menagerie just standing there, or they'll move just, they'll spin around, or they'll walk really slowly, like move just enough not to get booted, but they won't contribute in any way to the match you're playing.
I think it should just be like you see somebody do this, you screenshot it, or you do whatever, you send it to Bungie, and Bungie bans them on their own time. Don't just do like a textual thing, right? Hey, this guy was doing this, you got to ban him. Give some kind of proof, or Bungie accept some kind of proof. Don't just take people at their word, because people lie. I could just get angry at some guy just coming in, wiping out my entire team, and just be like, "Oh, he was macro, and you got to ban him." I mean, you gotta have some kind of proof.
You can also look at the after action report and see, 0 kills, 0 anything.
That doesn't mean a whole lot. I mean, people on our skill level, we don't really come across people like that, but there could be kids out there that are just really bad at it.
If you're in a Gambit match or a Menagerie,
come on.
and you don't kill a single thing, no kill, no assist, no points. If you manage to get through that without doing, if you get a pacifist run through Menagerie without touching anything and are actually playing, then kudos to you. That should be an achievement.
No, but I think you're right. If the game identifies that you've got no score whatsoever, or even a minus score, because I believe you can get minus on some things, then the game should automatically kick you to orbit. You can't be put back into the game. I think
it would have to be a no score kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, not even that, because somebody could go and kill one enemy and then go AFK. You know?
Yeah, but then they've got to
that.
do it for every game. They've got to keep coming back and doing it for every game.
Oh, you're just talking about flat out AFK, like overnight
Yeah.
kind of.
Because I think there's been a couple of YouTubers that have put videos up saying like Rumble is this now, and people are going into Rumble and just going AFK again using macros or rubber bands, like Peroty was saying, around controllers, and they're just getting points from just being in game, and that's not fair for other players. I mean, it's good if you're in Rumble and you've got a whole other 6 players that are AFK,
so doing nothing.
You're going to win something.
Wow, I know how to pad my numbers now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's like Fallout. I think it's Fallout players have been talking about, and maybe Cammy as well, going, I all people on PC standing around doing nothing. He's like, well, that's fun to a point, but if I would try to get through something, but just try to go and play and hang out and have fun, it's not a lot of fun when you're standing against nobody playing at all. It's interesting too to see, now that the game's on PC. There's a lot more that gets opened up to things you could do that you couldn't do on a console, or were much harder to do on a console. We're seeing a lot of more problems now that are persisting through the community in the PC world. So it'll be curious to see too when Stadia launches, if there's any things in Stadia. I don't know if that's a better or worse environment for things, since it's all based in the cloud. It'll be interesting to see what sort of glitches and cheeses come from that.
Or
wouldn't it be harder?
Cheats?
But wouldn't it be harder if it's because that's going to be based on their servers, their end? It's going to be nothing on the client end, is there?
I mean, there's still some clients and stuff on the network end you could do to at least to mess with people. But I mean, I wonder if DDoSing will be just as bad on things like that. But again, I doubt a lot of serious.
You go on the route of DDoS, but what if they can just like inject info, right? Say, they put something in the HTML code that when it goes back to the server, it tells the server, hey, he just picked up the bad juju. And now he's got the bad juju because he injected it in.
But would they be able to do that? Because that's on Google servers.
I mean, code is code. It depends on how the game is made, how it accepts it, right? Because if you're doing it online,
all this stuff.
If you're doing it online, right, it has to go back to the servers for the server to update the information. Right, that's how the online thing works. Well, somebody can use some kind of injector as long as they know the source code or can somehow get it in the source code, right? And that when it reads his loadout, it reads the fact that now he's got XYZ, exotic, right?
Right.
And then it sends that information back to the server, and the server just accepts, oh, he got the exotic just now. Cool. Now he's got the exotic.
Probably a bad example and a bad tangent, but again, just things being out there in PC. There's more you can do that you couldn't do on a console.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is sort of why I don't have the money to build a gaming PC, but I'm kind of happy on a console because at least it's a playground that I know there's sort of some limits to what people could do.
Oh, here's a plug. If you don't have a lot of money for a gaming PC, Peroty, a good thing for you to do is check out iBuyPower. No, listen. iBuyPower. It's a website, right? And can
I use it over here in the UK?
I don't know, honestly.
You have to buy power with a U. It's you
Plug
buy
to our
power
US base then.
I don't know. You can look it up, dude. I don't shop in the UK. I don't know what you can access. Look it up. See if you can get it. But iBuyPower, it's so far in my experience, right? This is anecdotal. That has the best quality to price ratio for building your own PC. So give it a look. That's it. Hello.
It's more fun just letting Respawn drift out there in the nothingness.
Oh, okay. I was actually thinking I got DC'd or something.
No.
Oh dear. Have you guys got anything else you want to add?
I do not have any.
You mean you've not got another 10 pages for us to go through?
What do you mean we have another 10 pages? We're not the one writing this document.
Sure
no, but I thought, maybe once you might actually come to the, the dinner table with something. Look, you might have brought the after 8 or something.
I'm here to make fun of people and be made fun of. Okay, that's me. I am comic relief that gets angry sometimes.
Which is all right. So now, do I need to do an intro, or did you actually do an intro
We sort of did an
Panoramics.
intro. I honestly can't even. I honestly don't even remember this point of the
Did you
intro.
say that I wasn't
we
there?
did an intro, and it was more like I think he said something to the tune of "Welcome to Peroty and Respawn Talk Home Improvement" while we wait on Night Demon or something like that.
Fair enough. Well, I'll have to do the outro then if you've done the intro.
I do the outro.
Yeah, there is an intro. So take the outro away, sir.
Bear with me on this because I'm making this on the spot. Okay.
Would you like?
'Cause
Me to
I've
send
only
you
just
my
had this
outro?
weird
Would
mind.
you like some tips?
No, I'm going to go for it, and I don't want laughing or talking over me.
I cannot make those promises.
Thank you for joining us this week. Your Titans are Peroty and Night Demon. Your hunter is no one respawns in real life. You can email us at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com or contact us on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. You can join us on Facebook at facebook.com/twotitansandahunter. And there's a lot of numbers after that, but I don't honestly know what it is. You can join the Phrasing Clan, as Peroty likes to plug each and every week. Join us for eating sandwiches, trying to accomplish raids, and doing a lot of fun stuff when we can all get on. Find your favourite Guardians over on Xbox Live. You can watch the show on YouTube, listen to the show on Podcoin, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and anywhere that fine podcasts are sold. I leave you struggling to get through the Reckoning Tier 3. Well, I leave Peroty struggling to get through the Reckoning Tier 3 with 3 Shadow Shut Hunters. I'm going to go and try and do a Crown of Sorrow raid this week. I don't know what Respawn's going to try and do.
All of them.
So he says. Hasn't even got a badge. Yeah. That's it. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, he normally says, say goodbye, children. Oh, we could say
Goodbye, Guardians? Question mark.
goodbye, raid team.
Goodbye, robotic night demon.
Goodbye. Goodbye, fire team.
Praising you as our Lord and Savior, Night Demon. Praising you as our Lord and Savior, Night Demon. Praising you as our Lord and Savior, Night Demon. Praising you as our Lord and Savior, Night Demon. Night Demon. Night Demon. Praising you as our Lord and Savior, Night Demon. Praising you as our Lord and Savior, Night Demon. Praising you as our Lord and Savior, Night Demon. Praising you as our Lord and Savior, Night Demon. Night Demon. Night Demon.